There are 2 visitor moorings at Stourport Basin, and both are for 24 hours only. As they're on a corner, the wind and bad navigation from other boaters meant I kept on being collided into, so time to move on. I headed up the York Street Lock onto the Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal. I'll be navigating through the Upper Mitten area for a quick stop off at Kidderminster. Then I travel up to Ashwood Marina. The canal is lined with houses and can be narrow at times, especially through bridges 5 to 7. The area was full of life, other boaters, and everyone was very welcoming. It looked like a really nice spot to moor up for a few days and visit the town. I, however, was in search of the countryside.
For the past seven or 8 weeks, I've been on large rivers or the real industrial Gloucestershire Canal. So it's actually really nice to come up onto what's called a narrow gauge canal, where it's so narrow you can't turn around, but it's enough space for 2 boats to go past each other. It's a lovely, peaceful spot. I'm north of Stourport-on-Severn and south of Kidderminster. But today I really need to move the boat because it's absolutely boiling. I'm actually in the sun all day long, and I really need to sacrifice solar and go and seek shade. Obviously, if you live in a house, you've got to put up with the heat all day long, but today I'm going to move to cooler climates, shall we say.
On my way to that, I needed to fill up with water and other supplies in the town of Kidderminster. There were many boaters around also seeking shade, so lots of help along the way.
This next lock is open for me. I don't know if someone's opened it for me to travel through or it was open from the last person, but when this happens it's a real blessing because you don't have to moor up beforehand to then go and open the gates to move on in. Now, I originally thought that the lock had been open, the gates had been open for me because there was another boat on the other side, but that's not the case because a guy called Geordie Jim has opened the gates for me and done all the paddles so I can just stay on board and keep on cruising, and it makes the whole getting through a lock a lot faster. So thanks very much, Geordie Jim.
The canal goes right through the heart of Kidderminster, and there are plenty of large supermarkets and shops right next to the water's edge. Be careful when going north under Bridge 16. There's a lock on the other side of it, and a bend. There was a boat in front of me who kindly waved, telling me not to enter the bridge and to instead reverse to allow the other boat through. As you rise through the Kidderminster Lock, the scenery really changes from a quiet, quaint canal to a busy metropolitan town. I filled up with water, disposed of my rubbish, and onward I went. What you doing there? There were a few locks to navigate upstream as I came out of Kidderminster, and at Debdale Lock, near Cookley, there's a small cave cut into the red sandstone. In times gone by, it was used as overnight stabling for the working boat horses. Although Cookley Tunnel just north of the lock was less than 60 metres in length, it was rather thin and really low, but taking it slow, I crawled through. Picturesque houses lined my route as I passed Kinver, and at Stourton there's the turning for the Stourbridge Canal that heads towards Birmingham. But I'm still heading north on the Stratfordshire and Worcestershire Canal. On the corner near Flatheridge Bridge, there is the best private garden neighbouring the canal I've seen so far. This would make any gardener jealous.
So I'm up bright and early, and today I'm putting Alice into a marina for the week. I'm going on holiday, and I didn't really like the idea of leaving her tied up next to the towpath. Even though I've had no security problems whatsoever, it's better to be safe than sorry. Now I'm putting her into Ashwood Marina, and it's a very long and thin marina, and you're unable to turn around in it, so I'm going to have the luxury of reversing 3/4 of its length, which is quite long. Now narrowboats don't steer very well when in reverse, because the tiller doesn't really direct the water flow. So I'm going to use my bow thrusters, hopefully, to nudge the bow at port or starboard, and that will point the stern in the right direction. Fingers crossed. This is actually a lot trickier than I thought it would be, and I've got to really concentrate. I'm only going at tick over speed, so that helps. Don't rush, take it slow. The wind's nothing today, which really helps, but we'll see. I've got lots of fiberglass and plastic boats to go past yet. I'm very nearly there. Haven't touched another boat, haven't bumped into anything, and I've taken my time, gone nice and slow, and I'm nearly in the place where I'm due to moor. So I've now left Alice. Seems really weird. This is going to be the longest I've been away from the boat. But she's in safe hands. She's in the marina, nice and moored up. So now it's time to go on holiday.
Don't forget to click subscribe if you want to follow my journey. It doesn't cost anything, and it informs you about new episodes. Click the thumbs up if you like this episode, and until next time, see you later.